All right, guys, today we're going to go ahead and complete a classic CrossFit girl benchmark workout, Helen. Now, Helen is one of those workouts where, you can, it doesn't seem that hard on paper, but in reality, just like any other workout, the harder it looks on paper, the easier it is. But in other words, the easier it looks on paper, the harder it is. Now, very basic, we've got essentially 3 rounds per time, starting with a 400-meter run. Then we've got 21 kettlebell swings working with a 35 and a 53-pound kettlebell. And then lastly, 12 pull-ups. Now, there's a couple of different things to think about or anticipate for this workout. Now, if this is your first time doing this workout, what we want to make sure is that we're not sending it out too hard too soon. So think of round one as your baseline round, something we talk a lot about. That first round should be something that we can sustain for multiple rounds. So make sure that you're running the pace that you can sustain throughout the 3 rounds. It's only 3 400-meter runs. When you return, we've got 21 kettlebell swings. Now, this is where we want to think about having some form of a strategy. This workout can be very grip intensive. So going from the kettlebell swings, a large set of kettlebell swings, into the pull-ups can be challenging. And that 400-meter run may not be enough time to allow ourselves to recover. So with that being in mind, what we want to think about is going into that first set of kettlebell swings, give yourself a number to work towards. Whether you go all 21 straight through, we need to relax our hands so that way we're not gripping so tight throughout the entire kettlebell swing. Now, another option is breaking it up. Stop at 11. Stop at 7, 7, 7, 7, 21 reps. Just make sure that if we are stopping for a short rest, or short reps, if we're stopping every 7 reps, we need to make sure that our rest is also very short. So if you're resting, don't need to grab chalk. Just take a break, reset your grip, and then continue. Now, going into the pull-ups, this is another thing that we got to keep in mind, is know your capacity. If you know you can sustain 12 reps in a row under fatigue, awesome. Go for it unbroken. But at the same time, if we are having to modify today and using a band for assistance, then what we want to do is have a number in mind that we're going to stop at. Maybe it's 8 and then 4, or 6 and 6, 4 sets of 3, 3 sets of 4. Totally up to you on how you want to approach this one. Just make sure that you're picking a scaled modification that is going to be sustainable, where we can keep moving. And if you do have to break, like I said, if we're going 4 sets of 3, that means we're just dropping off the bar to reset our grip. That doesn't mean that we're going to take a break, grabbing chalk up on your run. So if you want to grab a quick handful of chalk, or just like a little piece of chalk that you can chalk up while you're running, that way you can return and get right back on that kettlebell. That's maybe a strategy you can work for today. Otherwise, if you find yourself having to rest a lot in transition, then just think about maybe breaking up the movement a little bit more, so that way you can minimize that rest in the transition from movement to movement. Now, if your strategy is to rest in between movement to movement, then what we need to be thinking about is pushing the intensity on each movement, meaning run faster, 21 kettlebell swings, and hang on to the pull-ups for a large set, if not completed unbroken. Now, like I mentioned before, the first round is our baseline round. So running that first round, or completing the kettlebell swings and pull-ups in that first round at a moderate to challenging pace, but a pace that is going to be sustainable. So then that way on the next round, we can try to go a little bit faster. And then the last round, we can go the fastest we can go for this workout. So it's only 3 rounds for time. Helen, have fun.